0.5% gain, a touch and go moment with 10,800, and yes, outperformance from sectors like consumer goods, healthcare, autos. They all managed to hold out quite smartly. Yes, what continued to loom large was also the currency weakness, another touch and go moment with that 70 to the dollar mark. But next week, the focus will be on very critical macro prints. Remember, you'll have the trade deficit data as well come out, and especially given the kind of backdrop that you're seeing with regards to the currency weakness, this data is going to be extremely key. You'll also have Innocent Bank come out with its numbers on the 10th. Then you'll have TCS come out with its numbers on Tuesday. So very, very important in that sense. And yes, aside of that, you'll also have IIP, you'll have the June CPI numbers. All these are going to be the macro prints that the street is going to be looking out for rather carefully. But first, let's take it across to Pankaj and find out what the dealing room chatter has been, as it's been some encouraging a week, but as the litmus test, the true one at that, the earnings as well, is just ahead of us. Pankaj, what's the dealing room chatter been?
Well, if you look at the market setup this week, it can be divided into two parts. The first half, there was a selling pressure in the mid-cap space, but then in the second half, markets really took the pace off. And towards the ending, even the mid-caps started to make a comeback into the market. Remember, some of the mid-caps have been butchered, but since the start of July, you're seeing some sort of outperformance that happening with the Nifty, and then it's being followed by the mid-cap space as well. But crude oil prices continue to be high, so that's something which investors are very, very cautiously tracking. Any fall in crude prices next week is something which the street would keenly await for. What happens to the rupee, what happens to the noise around the tariff and tariff war between China and US will be some of the key developments that markets and market investors would be tracking in. We also have the earnings season starting for Q1, so you'll have IndusInd Bank declaring their numbers, you'll have TCS, Infosys, some of the other mid-cap companies that declare their numbers. All of that would particularly be quite important for the market setup or the sentiment in the market. Now, DIIs have been buying, but at the same time, you've had sell-off, which has happened from the FII players. So will that emerging market sell-off continue? Will dollar continue to go up, having an impact on the emerging market currencies, emerging market equity indices? That is something which global investors would be keenly watching out for. As far as setups are concerned, levels are concerned, market participants say that it's likely going to be driven by events like earnings, what happens in different global markets, and noise around the tariff war.